So here's where I was going with that. When you develop your blueprint prior to your birth, you have these guides already established that you can make agreements with. So in other words, let me give an example. So whenever I was working at EMS and I was doing readings for several years, I did that. I told Lola, hey, if it comes to, a certain period of time, if I haven't retired early and I haven't transitioned fully into doing this mediumship, give me a nudge, because I'm not going to want to do it. It's going to feel a little uncomfortable. And then back away, and then give me another nudge, and then back away. And then I'm going to need you to kind of pull me in that direction if I don't do that. Now, that I didn't make that agreement with her for every single event in my life. But with this being such a major transition, I asked her for help ahead of time. So when I got nudged, it wasn't her doing it to me. It was her abiding by the agreement that we had. I hope that makes sense, because everything that happens to you is happening for you. And the other point I'm trying to make is trust. You have to trust. Maybe that is part of what you're trying to learn here, is to fully trust. My guides have always said, Stacey, just show up with your heart open. We'll handle the rest. And they do. It takes the pressure off, even though I still manage to magnificently put pressure on myself, right? Not so much anymore, though. I was, but cancer solved that problem. I mean, it really did, because that's part of self-love. But my point is that whenever I was living day to day, I'm kind of really relying on them, because look, when I pray, I never ask for anything. I'm usually praying just a prayer of gratitude. And when I was sick, I said literally, I don't just need your help. I need you to take over. I don't have anything in me to give right now, and I basically need you to carry me. And boy, did they. It was like the forces of nature just, like they rushed in from every direction and said, we've got you. And so I just trusted that I was being carried. We have this whole, speaking of, this is a good way to explain karma, the karma bank. I call it the karma bank. When we do good things, let me go back. Everything's energy, okay? Everything. Your feelings have energy, or energy. That's why our own deceased loved ones, they know when we're happy and sad and all. Everything has a frequency. Well, as we do good, and let me insert this also. Believe it or not, everybody's purpose here is the same. And you know what it is? Help your fellow man. That's what it is. When you are doing good things for others, it fixes pretty much everything. You can be in a bad mood. I say, if you're in a bad mood and you can't get out of it, go do something kind for someone. It lifts your frequency. It's like a fix-all. And, I don't know if you have ever seen that guy on TikTok that goes around, and it doesn't even have to be about money. It can be just a kind act, but he gives people money. He only gives them money if they offer to give him money, because he acts like he doesn't have any money to buy Pringles or something. But he gives them money, and he's changed lives, and he videos it, and he shares it. And he's not boasting about it. He's sharing it, because there's a ripple effect with that. When I watch those videos, I cry. Most people do. So I think it should be shared, because when we collectively feel that beauty of giving, we feel the outcome, right? Like we're affected by it. So that is absolutely what we should be doing, is helping each other, not stomping on each other, not stalking each other, not causing harm. When you do good things, you build karma, and look at it like a bank. You keep doing good, you have a savings account, and look at it like karma nuggets. I've never used that word, and a karma nugget, like a gold bar, whatever. But you put these karma nuggets in your savings account, and you stack them up, stack them up, stack them up, because one day you might actually need to draw on them. You'll need to draw from that. Well, I'm living proof that that's true story, because everything that happened when I ended up in the hospital, I could tell you several different things that happened that were like little miracles along the way that were such a blessing. And I shared some of that earlier, but I mean, it's like everything just fell into place, and I knew it's because we get what we give. That's a true statement. We get what we give. And I try and live my life in a way that I just try and be a good person. I try and give to people, and I try to be kind. I try not to judge them. I try to, not hurt the ones that are hurting. And so I know I have a lot of karma built up in the karma bank, and I drew on it when I needed it. And for those that are criminals, because I know some of you are listening, it's never too late. And I'm really serious about that. If you've done harm, and what I mean by harm is if you were doing anything that interferes in someone else's path in any way with negative intent, it's, harmful. You're harming. You're causing harm. You're in the gray. You're not stacking up karma nuggets. You're actually losing them. It's like, look at it like a bank account. You're losing. You're in the negative. But it's never too late to turn things around. And I'm really serious about that. When you screw up, you know what? We know the difference between right and wrong. I don't care what a law says or what, anybody tells you can or can't do. They don't have laws for everything. You know the difference between right and wrong. We all do. If it feels wrong, or you know it's wrong, you can justify it all day long to try and make it right, but you know it's wrong. If you are interfering in anyone else's path, it's not okay, and you are negatively affecting yourself on a karmic level. And there is a universal law that it's the balance. It's cause and effect. There's no way to escape balancing what you've caused. So you don't get a hall pass. You don't get out of jail free. You really don't. What's going to happen is you are going to have to go through something that vibrates at the same level of what you've caused. So my point is, we're not meant to be perfect, but fix it. If you've done something wrong, you're not doomed. Start building up your karma bank. Start just doing good things for others. You can turn things around, because remember, this isn't an all or nothing. This is okay, I screwed up, or maybe I got off on the wrong track. Maybe I followed the wrong people. Maybe somebody built me up and made it look like I was such a great citizen, and then now all of a sudden I'm stalking my neighbors. That's not okay. That's negative karma. Just change it. Change it. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all human. But we all have the ability to change things. I always loved Dr. Maya Angelou, and she would say, when we know better, we do better. And that's true. When you have the knowledge and you know something's not right, it's not okay, you have the responsibility to fix it. This whole make a mistake, go to confession, ask for forgiveness, and then go make them the same mistake because you can go back to confession, that is not how it works. I'm sorry. That's not how it works. If you use that as an excuse that, all I have to do is ask for forgiveness, that's still negative karma. Get what I'm saying? It's all about intent. So my point, though, is it's never too late. We're human beings. Everybody deserves a second chance. If you messed up, just do good things. And here's the thing, too. When you start doing that, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel what it feels like when you are able to do something nice for someone and they're moved by the experience. Do you know how good that feels? And it doesn't have to be something major or monetary. I mean, it could literally be like, I walked up to this lady in Walmart and I just said, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about what I was saying. I said, you have such beautiful energy. Like, thank you for being like standing right here. Like, and I got to walk right through your energy. I won't go into the whole story, but she just teared up, and I'm just being real. Like, I felt it. Like, I needed that. And then I stopped when I saw her tear up, and I said, no, I mean it. You have a really, really big purpose. She was a Walmart greeter. I said, what? There's no better place for you to be than right here. You have this energy field. It's like a light worker, like the amount of people you can affect, the lives you can touch. It's like you transmute energy from people, and they don't know it. They walk past, they go about their day. Here you are, with your superpowers. And I just feel grateful to have walked through your energy field. I just want to say thank you. And then she said, can I hug you? And I said, oh, yeah. Well, all I did was stop to say what I felt. I had no intent. I had no expectation. I didn't do it for any other reason than because I was wowed. But you know what we tend to do? We focus on what we don't like. That's what we talk about, what we don't like. Nobody really takes time to say, hey, I like this about you. What you focus on, you get more of. And so that's why I was saying we get what we give. I didn't give any thought to that. I hadn't planned it. I just walked past her, was wowed by it. I didn't even turn around, walk backwards to get back to her, basically to thank her, because I was having a rough day, and she eased it. And I just said how powerful she was, and she was having a rough day, and it's like we just crossed paths when we both needed to. That simple interaction right there was so powerful that, I'm thanking her. Now she's crying, and when I left, I felt like fantastic. I just felt grateful. How freaking fabulous was that? This total stranger, we just had this amazing interaction, and if I wouldn't have said thank you for your beautiful energy, I wouldn't have had it. So my point is, be kind. That's all it takes. And it doesn't mean I'm making an effort to do it. It comes naturally. When you do it regularly, it will come naturally. My point is, if you're screwing up, you can always change it. It's never too late. But I highly encourage you to try and change it, because if you accept a screw up, I don't even want to call it a screw up. The spirit world doesn't usually use the word mistake. They call mistakes opportunities for growth. But if you keep repeating the same behavior over and over and over, then you know what you're doing, right? You're repeating it. So, my point is we need to be learning from them.